It is our undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Police report as many as 75% of the people they've arrested in Midtown Manhattan for assault, robbery, and domestic violence are illegal migrants.
Police have tracked down a killer whose crimes span the country. Rachel Marin was dragged from a hiking trail in Maryland where she was raped and murdered.
Police say Brandon Ortiz Vite used a handgun he bought illegally to shoot Ruby Garcia multiple times on Friday.
The prime suspect charged in Laken Riley's murder was 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra. He illegally entered the United States back in 2022.
A Texas grand jury indicted Rafael Govea Romero. He's accused of attacking 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina by repeatedly hitting her head and stabbing her.
So let's get our notions together about what we're talking about.
That ad will leave a mark. Hello, everyone. I got some breaking news. So two of the suspected TDA gang members responsible for that apartment shooting in Colorado have been released from custody after posting a $1,000 bail. Can you believe it? I'll be providing you with more details on this topic later on in today's video. On the other hand, I do know that you guys want more on your plate, or at least that's what the government thinks. And so this is not the only disgrace you have to worry about.
We do want to begin with some breaking news. The Justice Department says a planned terror attack in New York City has been thwarted. The suspect allegedly wanted to target Jewish people on October 7th, 1 year after the attack in Israel. The suspect was quoted by the FBI as saying, "If we succeed with our plan, this would be the largest attack on U.S. soil since 9/11.
The suspect's name is Mohammed Shahzeb Khan. He is a 20-year-old Pakistani citizen who lived in Canada. He allegedly began posting on social media in support of ISIS last November and eventually, without his knowledge, began communicating with two undercover law enforcement officers. That's what led them.
An illegal immigrant from Honduras is now behind bars after a massive manhunt in Indiana. Dimas Gabriel Yanez is accused of stabbing a 14-year-old girl while she was attending her younger brother's baseball game. The suspect was deported in 2018 and is linked to several other crimes across the United States.
Correct. Additionally, you have to worry about criminals coming from Pakistan, Honduras, El Salvador, you name it, from any part of the world because, well, our borders are technically wide open. Notwithstanding the fact that we already have some cold-blooded killers in America. Let's face it, no country is perfect. And that's the key here. We have many issues to deal with, from crimes to psychopaths to the economy. But what does our government do? Well, they came up with this brilliant idea: leave the borders wide open. And they are wide open because anybody that decides to come here through the border makes it. You guys know this. I've reported on this many times. We've watched many of these individuals tell us their stories. They just decided to come and they made it.
So where are you from?
India.
Where are you going? Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
Oregon.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. New York.
New York.
New York.
New York.
New York. New York.
Nueva York.
New York. New York. New York. New York. ¿Dónde vas?
New York.
New York.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Gracias. New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. ¿Y usted?
New Jersey.
¿Y usted?
New Jersey.
¿Y usted?
New Jersey.
¿Y usted?
Jersey.
Gracias. ¿Y usted?
There you go. You see, if we were in a different time where our economy was thriving and inflation wasn't breaking records in a bad way, and most Americans were doing well, where we could say, you know what, we're living in the golden era right now, then we can go ahead and help other parts of the world that are living in poverty in a controlled manner. Proper vetting so we don't put anybody at risk, and assist in some sections of the world where it will not affect our economy because we have a good heart. We could do that if we were thriving. and if our economy was back under the gold standard. And it wasn't this fuzzy make-believe kind of stuff, because that's what we have right now. That's why our national debt is where it is. It is all make-believe. We have faith in our government. Imagine that. That's how our economy and our dollar is backed right now, by pure faith. Guys, the big crash is coming. We are going broke. And that's one of the main reasons we cannot do what we're doing right now. America is going broke. Hear me when I tell you this. It will happen. Be prepared. I know that you guys are scared of the next 9/11. That is in the works already. We all know that. But at the same time, there is a major economic crash in the works. And you need to be prepared for that. First thing is, know that it's coming. And the second thing is, back yourself, because our dollar is not backed. So you need to have some backing. Again, we'll discuss more on this as we get more information of the economy. The market has been retreating, but that's nothing. That's just peanuts for what's coming later on. And the later on could be next year, 2 years, 3 years. Who the heck knows, but it will be sooner rather than later. I don't want to get too off topic, but please take me serious when I tell you that. We'll keep having this open conversation as more information comes in and comes out. So please smash the like button, subscribe, share this video with at least one person. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let's continue with the updates. Migrant crime is out of control. Let's get started. Okay, guys, so first thing first. 2 of the suspected TDA gang members responsible for that apartment shooting have been released in Colorado. What the hell is happening? So you have Venezuelan brothers, Dixon Perez, 20 years old, and Nixon Perez, 19 years old, who are charged with trying to tamper with evidence in the July 28th shooting, were released after posting a $1,000 bond. Despite of the fact that ICE officials issued a detainer for their arrest. Homeland Security sources are saying that the brothers entered America on August 22nd, 2023, so under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Of course, this was at a port of entry in Eagle Pass, Texas, using the CBP One app, even though they lacked proper documents to be allowed in. Instead, they claimed to be seeking asylum and were ushered through. And I quote, "Sanctuary cities do not protect United States citizens. They only protect criminals," end quote, said the former Denver ICE director, John Fabricatori. I hope I didn't butcher that last name, but you get the point. Furthermore, within hours of their entry into the US, the siblings were released and believed to be en route to New York, where they told federal authorities they were headed. Likewise, a confirmed member of the gang, who is said to be the leader and goes by the nickname of Cookie, was also allegedly involved in the July 28th shooting. In November 2023, Cookie allegedly brutally beat a man alongside a squad of gangsters and was eventually released on bail before failing to show up to court. He then took part in the July 28th shooting at the same apartment complex. So Cookie and his brother, who are also TDA gang members, face attempted murder and other charges, according to the Aurora Police Department. And this is per the New York Post. Isn't that story inspiring? That's what you guys can get when voting for Democrats. The sanctuary city policies is truly inspiring. Now let's go to Indiana.
An illegal immigrant from Honduras is now behind bars after a massive manhunt in Indiana. Dimas Gabriel Yanez is accused of stabbing a 14-year-old girl while she was attending her younger brother's baseball game. The suspect was deported in 2018 and is linked to several other crimes across the United States. Matt Ramian was coaching the brothers' baseball team. He was on third base with a player, and he saw the whole thing and joins. And what did you see?
Well, I was just coaching a baseball game like I pretty much do all the time. And I'm on third base. I looked to talk to my on-deck batter, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this dude just come out of behind my dugout, and all he did was just jump on this girl, and then he started to like push her down onto the bleachers, and then he pulls out at least a 16 to 20 inch knife. It wasn't even a regular sized pocket knife, and just started swinging it and got her a few times, and blood went all over the bleachers and on the people sitting in front of him. Then he just takes off running down the sidelines and started waving the knife at a couple other people as he was running. And then a bunch of the dads, at least like 10 to 15 dads, just go running after the guy and chased him all through the woods. And then like a 26-hour manhunt proceeded.
Lord, what would you guys do? Let's say if it was your sister or your daughter or your wife, or what if it was yourself and you're just there watching a baseball game and this starts to happen? How would you react? Nobody's safe anymore. And as this continues to happen in some parts of the country, well, Biden and Harris keeps letting them in. Watch this video, which is about 5 minutes long, and tell me how many did you count? I lost count, I'm being honest. But this is true madness.
So where are you from?
India.
Where are you going? Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
Oregon.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you.
India.
Where are you going? Thank you.
India.
Where are you going?
California.
Thank you. You?
India. California.
Thank you. You?
America.
Thank you. Where are you going?
California.
Who you? Where are you going?
Indianapolis.
Okay, thank you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Michigan. Where are you from? ¿Dónde vienes? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you from?
Guinea.
Guinea. Where are you going, sir?
I'm going to New York.
Thank you, sir. You?
Thank you.
Where are you going?
Thank you.
Where are you going?
Thank you.
What state are you going to?
I go to Senegal.
And you?
Senegal.
Are you going to New York?
Nice.
Where are you going?
New York.
You?
Senegal.
You?
Louisville.
Louisville. You?
Yeah.
New York. You? You?
New York.
New York. You? New York? You? You?
New York.
You? You?
New York.
You? 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 Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? New York? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you coming from?
Senegal.
Where you going?
New York.
Where you coming from?
Hey.
Where you going?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Where you coming from? Where you going?
Yeah,
Where you going? Where you going? ¿Dónde vienes?
Colombia.
¿A dónde vas, viejo?
Estados Unidos.
¿Y usted? ¿A qué estado?
Texas.
Texas. ¿Y usted?
Texas.
¿Y usted? Texas. ¿Y usted? ¿Viene? Okay. Where are you from?
You know, African, you know.
Where are you from?
I'm from Africa.
Where are you going?
America.
Where are you going? ¿Dónde vienes?
¿Ah?
¿Cuántos años tienes?
12.
¿Vienes solo?
Sí.
Wow. Buenas noches. ¿Dónde vienes? ¿A qué estado te diriges?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿De dónde viene?
Guatemala.
Guatemala. ¿Vas a Washington?
No, Kentucky.
A Kentucky. ¿Y usted, señorita?
Kentucky.
A Kentucky. ¿Y usted?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. ¿Y usted? Denver. ¿Y usted?
Denver, Colorado.
¿Y usted?
Denver, Colorado.
Denver. ¿Y usted?
Denver.
Denver. ¿Y usted? Denver.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Ecuador. ¿De dónde vienes? ¿A dónde vas?
Ecuador, Estados Unidos.
¿A qué estado? Espérate, ¿a qué estado?
New Jersey.
A New Jersey. ¿Y tú?
A Houston.
A Houston, gracias.
Houston.
Houston, 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 Houston,
Nueva Jersey.
Nueva Jersey,
Nueva Jersey.
Nueva Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, Houston,
Houston.
Houston,
Arizona.
Arizona, Arizona, Arizona,
Virginia.
Virginia, New York, New York, New York, New Jersey, Manhattan,
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, Minneapolis, Arkansas, 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 Arkansas. Where you going? ¿Dónde vas? Arkansas? Okay, ¿y tú?
Omaha.
Omaha. ¿Y tú? Houston,
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, Nueva York, Minneapolis, Chicago, New York, New York, New York, New York,
Nueva York.
New York, New York, New York, New York. ¿Dónde vas?
New York.
New York,
New Jersey.
New Jersey, gracias. New Jersey,
New Jersey.
New Jersey. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted?
New Jersey.
¿Y usted?
New Jersey.
¿Y usted? Gracias. ¿Y usted? Where you going? Where you going?
Texas.
Texas. You?
Colorado.
Colorado. You?
New York.
New York. You? California. You? New York. You? Miami.
California.
California.
Texas.
Texas. New York. Texas. Texas. Colorado. Texas. New York. Texas.
California.
California. Where are you from? ¿Dónde vienes?
India.
India. Where are you going?
New York.
New York. Where are you from?
India.
Where are you going?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
Thank you.
India, New York.
Thank you.
India, Indiana.
Thank you.
India.
Where are you going?
LA.
Thank you. You?
India.
Where are you going?
Arizona.
¿Dónde vienes? Where are you from?
India.
Thank you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Go ahead. ¿Dónde vienes?
India.
India. Where are you going? New York. You?
India.
Where you?
Washington, Seattle.
Thank you.
India.
Where are you going?
Chicago.
Okay. You? Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
America.
New York, California. Where?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going? Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Houston.
Thank you. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going? You?
Senegal.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. You? Where you? ¿De dónde vienes?
Ecuador.
¿A dónde vas?
Nueva York.
Gracias. ¿Y usted?
Ecuador.
¿A dónde vas?
Nueva York.
Gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿A dónde va? ¿Y usted?
Nueva York.
Gracias.
So, how many of them are good people and violent criminals? I don't know. You don't know either. Nobody does. Welcome to America. However, some Americans are speaking out and telling us how they feel about this lunacy. Let's go to New York.
Kevin, how do you feel about the current migration crisis here in New York specifically?
In New York, because I'm from New York, the current vibrations is that we are putting too much money into illegal aliens coming in, all right? Too much money while we have the mentally ill that's here, the veterans that are here, and there's no type of programs that's good for them. Now they just allocated $5 billion.
And you're a New York taxpayer.
I'm a New York City taxpayer.
How do you feel about that?
You know, we getting taxed as Americans everywhere you looked at. All right, but I don't feel that we should be going towards that. Then with the laws that they implement, you can't even deport them back no more. So they flooded all these immigrants in here. You can't send them back. They ripping and they're robbing, stealing. You know, they trying to survive, but the ripping I don't like. Well, the way I feel, you know, you have to come in the right way, like every other. And what they're doing is basically, to me, it's a sham. It's shamming all of New York taxpayers. They shamming everything.
The current migration crisis, well, it's suffocating the regular residents that's here. They're suffocating us.
How so?
Especially with the services. We need services. Mothers, fathers. There's a lot of homelessness going on.
Yeah.
Who knows how many of these people were evaluated? We got a lot of mental health going on out here. You know, everybody here is like a couple of paychecks away from being homeless, and all the homeless shelters are crowded. And they're causing ruckus. They just beat up cops.
How do you feel today? It was just announced that over $5 billion the last 2 years from New York taxpayers
for them.
Was gone for the homeless.
We were here
not homeless. I mean, the migration.
We thought it was a joke until we realized, yes, I heard they got a green card. They got a debit card and everything. Like, we didn't get none of that. The regular residents that live here needs that. We didn't get any of that. As a New Yorker, it makes you angry, but then you still have to push on. Life goes on. You still have to do what you have to do because New York moves so fast. So you still have to go to work and just grit your teeth and bear it, so to speak,
New York?
Yes, I am.
All right, what are your thoughts on the current situation?
Honestly, I think it's interesting because I pay a lot of money to be in this city. I'm barely holding afloat, to be honest, with my waitressing job, and the money is giving the city to the hotel, which, they're housing a bunch of illegal immigrants, so...
Yeah, so it seems like you're very frustrated, I'd sense.
I'm annoyed, to be honest.
Yeah. Dang, and how long have you been here in New York?
2 years.
Dang, and it's just becoming impossible to live here.
Honestly. Everything's so expensive.
Then we have this other local report where migrants are causing some disturbances in the New York City neighborhoods.
Loud music, kids playing outside, and garbage around the neighborhood is what tenants at this building on 10th Street and 44 Drive in Long Island City have been dealing with for the past few months.
I have a lot of loud music. They have big speakers over there in the corner, particularly on the weekends.
Kiko has been living in this building for 32 years and has never seen anything like it. It all started when the once 128-room Wyndham Hotel was turned into a New York City migrant shelter. He and other neighbors have seen kids riding up and down the sidewalk, jumping off porches, and at times taking showers by the spigot and even taking water to cook meals right on the street.
There's like 2 or 3 cars that they use to cook. And then it appears that they're maybe selling the food to the people in the hotel.
Anderson Corro has been living at the shelter with his wife and 2 kids for approximately 3 months. He says people at the shelter have to sign in and out, and a 9 p.m. curfew was implemented as of last Thursday to ensure families and kids are in their rooms at that time. And adds the only people who are allowed to stay out past 9 are people that have a special permit, usually related to their shift at work.
I see a lot of people after 9 p.m., a lot of kids I see them at 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock in front of the building with their bicycles. Nah, they don't go back at 9 o'clock.
And you're sure they're the kids from the shelter?
Yeah, because there's no other kids around here. There's no families. There's not a lot of people that live around here.
And tenants also told me they know those families need a place to live and be safe, but they want more regulation and more supervision to guarantee the safety of the neighborhood and of those kids.
We keep noticing that pattern, right? They want to bring their culture here. They do not want to adapt or assimilate to the American culture. It's them turning your neighborhood into wherever it is they came from. That is not necessarily a crime, but I find that to be disrespectful. I don't know, maybe I was raised differently. I was raised in America, so perhaps that is the reason why, but have some respect. That's just my take on it. Now let's go to Chicago. We have seen a lot of wild stuff over there, but again, some Americans are speaking their minds.
Did you not? If you order your food on DoorDash, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a Venezuelan. Ordering your food, can't speak English. Like, they literally took over. They took over. They taking the jobs, y'all. They taking over. And the government is helping their ass. How do the Venezuelans took over the whole DoorDash? They took over the whole delivery system. Kid you not. Order some DoorDash right now. I bet the motherfucking Venezuelans got it. It's like, I don't know if they got their own work through DoorDash or whatever, because I have yet to see a black person order me some, deliver my food since they came here. Since they came here. Y'all, they taking over the housing system. They taking over the DoorDash. They taking over. Oh my God. I got tears in my eyes, y'all. They pushing us out. They pushing us out. And the government is helping them. They giving these Venezuelans cars and they can't drive on the 290. They can't drive. They swerving into lanes with no license plates on their cars. The police not even pulling them over. Let it be a black person. Even though they look black, but they don't. Because they dress, they dress, you could just tell them apart from the Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans, from the blacks. They got their own swag, their own fucking dress code. They taking over. They taking over, y'all. They gonna run us out of Chicago, y'all. They not running me out of Chicago, bitch.
Like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man.
Yes.
And he is coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that.
But all along, all you're doing is trying to use black people to find a reason to make some money. Let me tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done.
Abuse the black American.
Come in here and go clean it up. Do just like R.A. Jr. Just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country after y'all have sat up here and let it get her overridden with a bunch of illegals. Y'all have sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a TACON man that ran from duty, don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie.
Wow, I'm telling you, this could blow up at any given moment. And notice how a lot of these reports do not show up on most of the mainstream media channels. And that tells you everything you need to know. Finally, do you remember when I told you about California helping migrants purchasing homes? Well,
today, the Gomez family officially welcomed friends to their new home in North Austin. Gabriel Gomez tells us it's his dream. This is what he wanted for his children. It is the first home for this family of four, and it is the first time they have lived in anything bigger than one bedroom for 8 years. Eyuveles Rengel says they are very happy, and this is an important step for their family. Originally from Venezuela, they worked in food service as an auto mechanic, delivering food, factory work. When they first arrived in Chicago in 2022 as new arrivals, they landed at Grace and Peace Church. This home is the first of 4 distressed West Side homes the church bought, rehabbed, and sold.
We met them at the bus and they were so distressed and worked through a whole process with them. And now they're stabilizing their own home. It's awesome.
With all of their savings, programs to assist first-time homebuyers, and an individual taxpayer identification number, the Gomez family made their dreams come true. Rengel says, really now is the American dream. Grace and Peace Church plans to sell their other rehabbed homes to other first-time homebuyers of color on the West Side, to hopefully improve the lives of their families and their communities.
okay, so when it comes to this particular story, let's keep it real here. Can you blame them? Can you really blame them? I don't. And so what we need to discuss is who is providing this assistance. Let's go to the source of the issue. That's what the conversation needs to be about. But obviously, we have to keep informed and call it out for what it is, which is totally wrong. Otherwise, we will be brainwashed by the mainstream media and the left, and the gaslighting will continue forever. Guys, I want to thank you for making it to the end of the video. The shoutouts for those of you that go the extra mile to support my content is down below. Do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe. It is crucial for the algorithm so that more Americans can watch these videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be reading most of your comments. I will see you guys next time.